Well, good evening, folks. I'm making a quick video because one of you asked, what is Daijisho? And so I thought I'd make a video to answer that question. First, I'll start with Daijisho is a front end for RetroArch, which is in turn a launcher for various emulators. So let's back up. An emulator is just a program that runs games, game ROMs. So, for example, a Super Nintendo emulator runs ROMs or the individual games from the Super Nintendo. RetroArch, as you see here in R, that is a launcher like Steam. Steam launches various individual games. RetroArch will launch the emulators, like the Super Nintendo emulator or Game Boy emulator, and if you click on a ROM, it will automatically launch the corresponding emulator to play that ROM. Okay, the thing is, RetroArch is not very pretty and it's not very user friendly, and so that's where Daijisho comes in. Daijisho, as you see up here in D, is just a front end that makes RetroArch a little prettier. Now I've got my controller plugged in, so if you hear clicking sounds, that's all that is. But yeah, as you see here, I've got can't tell you where to get them, but you go find yourself the ROMs of systems that you want to play. And then you put them in a folder and then point RetroArch at that folder. And Daijisho can also look at that folder and like scrape artwork and things like that. So if I were to open the Game Boy library here, you see I've got the box art for all of these Game Boy games, which is pretty cool. Okay. Um, Another little benefit that RetroArch allows you to do is you can sign into a profile on a website called Retro Achievements that makes it to where um, you have access to achievements like Xbox style achievements for these classic system games. Like the Nintendo Entertainment System here came out in 1983, something like that, and or 85. 85 here in the States. In any case, way before the idea of achievements were a thing. Um, Super Nintendo was like 93 or something like that. And yeah, I can open Super Mario World here. And so it's going to launch that. And you see it says Retro Achievements logged in with my profile. As you can see on either side of the screen, I've got touchscreen controls. Um, they do work, but I wouldn't recommend trying to play a platformer like Super Mario World with that. So I have the Razer Kishi controller plugged in, and that's what you may hear clicking or whatever. But yeah, I have no idea how Retro Achievements knows whether or not I've met the requirements for an achievement, but it seems to, and so that's really fun. That um, I have this way of like gaining achievements on an old game. By the way, emulators, highly recommend checking them out. You can play classic games on your phone or on a computer or whatever. They give you features like fast forward. You can it gives you like save states. Now, Super Mario World has saves, but let's say you're playing a game that doesn't. The emulator provides that option. You can also run the game at different resolutions and all sorts of stuff. You take screenshots. Sometimes it'll give you like cheats, things like that. So there's a lot of neat little things um, that you can do. Here's the different achievements, by the way. Most of them I have still locked up, but yeah, that's really, really, really fun. So yeah, that is Daijisho, and I hope you find that informative and interesting. And I'm not going to go through how to set it up, but um, you know, maybe that's a video for another day. Who knows?